self-help groups in almost every part of our, or every facility. Probably all of you work with this theory that this is a biological, psychological, and social problem, and therefore we did our pyramid of services, where you can find help on different level, and it should help you in different level of addiction. First, you can see that we are working in prevention. We are there in schools, like primary prevention as well. We do organized leisure time, night sport, evenings. I think prevention is nowadays really helpful, or should be helpful. We are thinking more and more about how to prevent kids from beginning to deal with drugs, because we have a huge problem in Hungary with underage clients, and we cannot react as fast as this age limit is going down. So it needs to be crazy, really, because, for example, I think each class is specialized for adults. I'm a clinical psychologist for adults, and though I need to work with underage clients every day, so it's getting a little bit stressed now. Then we have social street work, corridor work, and peer helper work. I think Andris will talk about this level, and also about low threshold services. We have a similar center, it looks almost the same as the Key Center here, what we've seen yesterday.
It's good to see that it really works with the same tools.
And we have a different center for social daycare, for drop-in services, where they have needle exchange. We have more low threshold services in our city, and it is, I think, because there are more areas in the city with specific problems, like marginalized parts of our city. Then we have outpatient treatment centers. A few months ago we opened a new one which is specialized for alcohol addicts, and we try to separate these two big problems, like drug and other addictions and alcohol, because we think that also that is typical for Hungary. We have a very big alcohol problem, and we needed to do something with that. We have rehabilitation homes, which are working with TC models. We have one integrated in our system, and another one who is like part of the system, but hand in hand, working hand in hand. And talk about this one. The difference between the two rehabilitation homes is that the one which is integrated is open for underage clients as well, but they are together with adults. They think that it is good for their socialization, that there is also some adult people with underage clients. There are other thoughts about this, if it's good or not. There are no other options in Hungary. There is no rehab for kids,
and not even
for teenagers, not
proper
even
protocol for them.
Yeah, so we are, I don't know where, like ages before those models we've seen there.
In this rehab, they use only a 3 month treatment, so they call it as an orientation, and the aim of these 3 months for them is to help them to integrate into the information about addiction as a disease. So it's an educational and orientational program. It's
Yeah.
3 months.
We've heard someone who told us that the self-help groups are not so common in Czech Republic. I don't know how they are in Slovak Republic. Because in Hungary they are. Because we can say that they are working good in our country. Almost in every bigger city you can find AA, NA, like for Narcotics Anonymous and gamblers, and also for adult kids, for alcoholics. So there are many of them, and I think we really work with them together, even if they are anonymous and we are not having together programs and so on, but we send the clients there and they help us with this. Okay, we have protected workplaces for clients in treatment or aftercare, and we have pathway house. I think you will talk about this as well a little bit. You can see it bigger. Okay. These are numbers circa, but we can say that in Page, our drug outpatient unit, in 2014 we reached circa 700 clients plus their relatives, so it's more. And the alcohol outpatient unit, which is like, when did we open it? Some months ago. Last year. It's also already 150 clients, but it's increasing like crazy. Like they are having a lot of clients today. The two rehab centers have seen around 200 clients, and I don't know if it's a good number or I lost all this.
No, of course not. It's just their
The low
social
threshold
service.
services should be more.
It is more, I promise.
Okay, I'm working at this drug outpatient treatment center. As you see, this is a needle change outcome. Very nice. We have everything what a normal outpatient center has, and I think we do diversion. I don't know if you have the same thing at the low. People who are using marijuana are criminalized. If the police catches them, they have to come and they have to be in therapy for 6 months. Like it is outpatient, like ambulatory therapy. We see them every 2 weeks for an hour, and it is always 6 months. It can be less, and it can be more if he's motivated or she is motivated, but it used to be 6 months. I'm working with this. I don't like this because motivation is nowhere.
Just a second. So hello everybody. Now I'm going to talk about our low threshold services, how they look like, and what are main topics, for example. The low threshold services are on the lowest level in our service pool. It means that we reach the most people, of course, not more than 100%. But it also means that these services are the less specialized services. So what are the main topics about low threshold services? Harm reduction. Of course, we believe harm reduction is a principle, and we believe in this principle. We know that with these programs, with these services, we are not helping the users to use drugs, but we are helping them to use it as safely as it possible. And it's of course a very good tool to reach them, to get in touch with them, to build up a trustful relationship with them, and try to help them to find a way to change for a change, and even realize if they are ready for a change. Okay. The early reach. We think that prevent the problem is much better than to handle it, and it's also much better for the it's also much better for the risk population, because if like this, so if they can prevent the problem, their identity and their quality of their life are not going to damage. The early treatment. Just one more thing about the early reach, because it's not good only for the clients, but it's good for the whole society. There was a research in the United States, and it revealed that every dollar what they spent for prevention, it saved $5 for them in the future, like less criminals, like less prisoners, less problematic citizens, more educated people, more people who were ready for work or something. So it's really a very useful tool. Now back to early treatment. If we can realize the problem in time, we can handle it faster. And there is no need highly specialized treatments, which are mainly long-term programs, but it can be happening faster. And with this, the clients can return their pre-morbid life period faster, so the damage will be smaller. And the delegation. Of course, in the low threshold services, we must realize when one problem is already above our competence limit. And if we realize that the problem is already deeper than what our tools can handle, then we must delegate them into our pyramid, where the proper supporters can help them. Okay. What are the parameters of the low threshold services? In Hungary, every city which has at least 30,000 people, which has a population of 30,000 people, must have low threshold services. It's financed by the government, but it's not a normative finance, but we have to write a tender in every 3 years, and the government will decide which low threshold services can get this money for 3 years and so on. It's like 20,000 euros, so it's not too much money, but I think we're going to discuss it later. Now let's see what kind of low threshold services we have. Just a second, something happened here. Okay, the therapeutic service. The therapeutic service, it's in a former mine colony. But after the mines were closed and all the miners left the area because of a better place to live, but multiple disadvantaged people filled up these abandoned houses soon. So these people, because of their quality of life, they are highly targeted by the drug abuse. So our constant presence is very important on this area. This is a typical office, pretty much the same what we saw yesterday. So we have needle exchange program, we have training programs for HIV and HCV. The people can come in 3 days a week about asking for help. We make consultations here, and we also making relapse prevention. For example, if someone return onto the area after a successful rehab, and then we help them to stay clean. Okay, I'll try to be a bit faster. The Party Aid service. The Party Aid service is our workmates represent themselves on the events of the city nightlife in Page and like clubs, pubs, and the festivals around Page. And it's really a harm reduction mainly. So they give party packs, vitamins, water, condoms, whatever they need. But they also have a table in these clubs, so the people can sit down and talk with them about. There is a picture about Ozora, what we talked about yesterday, so it's really exists. Okay. The alternative youth office. Actually, it's a normal youth office, but it's specialty that it works in a shopping mall. So the youngsters who are hanging out in the shopping mall day by day, they can come in for a tea, for playing games, for I don't know, read books. Not happening often. And here I show you about how this office looks like. So you can see the youngsters around. But there are also two professionals who are working here, psychologists and social workers. So the youngsters can talk with them also, and these professionals can diagnose the problem, and they can start the early treatment with the youngsters, or if they realize that the problem is much bigger, then they can delegate it.
Is there an age limit?
Yes, from 12 to 24.
And is there any, it's like low threshold center, so it doesn't have any...
Yes, it's
anyone
anyone can use it, yeah. There is this only rule that the first time if someone arrives, he has to show his ID card because of his age, but that's all.
The main idea
It's
was
anonymous, it can be anonymous service also for the children? Or
Yes,
youngsters?
exactly.
Okay.
the main idea was that we've seen that those children are in the shopping malls when they are not going to school. They are spending their leisure time there and doing nothing, basically. So that's my
Yes.
established.
So it's a drug alternative program for them instead of loitering or
It's open
drugs.
every day?
It's open from Monday to Friday from 2 p.m. till 7 p.m.
We get this service, but we don't have it in a shopping mall. I think it's much better to do it on some
It
place.
looks like a shop, like
Okay.
There was a research also about which revealed that the youngsters who are hanging out in shopping malls, they have a higher risk about drug abuse. So, and it was a franchise. It was in Budapest, in Page, and a couple of other cities, but these are all closed. Only ours still working. Okay.
In this center, do you cooperate also with other social services if you find out some problem with like abusing?
Yes, of
children or
course.
something? Yeah.
Of course.
Sending, or also the schools or social services, they can send the children or youngsters
Yes.
to you. Yeah.
Yes, sometimes when I'm sending someone, because I see that the problem is not addiction center, I see that the problem is not the addiction itself, it's the using of spare time and they can't do anything. So.
Yes, the meaning is to reveal the problem, to discover the problem, and then delegate, not even in our pyramid, if what we said, if they just need relations from their age, then we delegate them to that places, for sure. We have outreach work, street social work, but in this work we're working with the prostitutes. We give them like condoms, cherry seed towels, pregnancy tests, flyers. The prostitution is a legal activity in Hungary, but we believe that it's a very high risk. Being a prostitute is about mental hygienic problems. So that's why we try to get in touch with them, and if we realize that they are in trouble, then we can help them. Night sport. It's a similar program like was the Alternative Youth Office, but it's not working in the shopping mall, but it works in warrens for the youngsters who are just loitering in the warrens and on the street. So they can come in and they can play games like basketball, football, table tennis, because it's in usually it's in a sports facility. And it's not in the afternoons, but by night, from 6 p.m. till 2 a.m. and mainly Fridays and Saturdays. Unfortunately, it's not, so this program is dependent on finances. So if we have tenders or something, then we can raise up this program. If we don't have it, it's closed.
So it's not your facility, you go to some sports facilities,
yes.
You pay for that and they can use it?
Yes. The alternative youth office, the TAIR public service, the party aid services, they are financed by low threshold services program by the government. So they are working continuously, but this program is no. And the prevention. Prevention is not a typical low threshold service, but if we monitor to whom we give this service and what kind of services we give, then of course we can say easily it's a low threshold service. We're organizing prevention days in elementary schools and high schools, focusing on drug abuse. But these programs are not presentations. We rather prefer to the interactive communication with the youngsters. We are interested about what's in their mind, to give them the proper answers to their questions. We think that, and we never moralize in these programs. We don't want to tell them what is right or what is wrong. It's not our competency. We believe that making decisions in our life is always the person's own competency. What we can do is to give them all the information, what they need in the future when they have to make decisions, and we hope that like this they can do the right decisions. We also try to give them a worldview with which they can handle situations in their life easier. Okay.
How often do you do this?
It depends. There are two ways. One way is if we win a tender or the school wins a tender, then we can go immediately. But also if we have just an asking from a school because of there is a huge problem and we have capacity on it, then we do it.
It's not a proper program. It's not running every week or
no.
We have always this problem. We are half governmental, half NGO. And our problem is that our government now doesn't support any programs for drug addiction, almost like any, because it begins to be like in the socialism that drug addiction is not a problem. So, and
The chronic problem, I think they try to
criminalize this. Like our law is getting stricter and stricter towards them, and it's
So but of course we try to reach as many youngsters with them. Okay, about this, we are going to after lunch. Okay, so thank you.
Established 12 years ago, so we have 12 years experiences about drug rehabilitation. I worked for the Association for the Rehab for 5 years, and I'm a clinical psychologist. So that's content about. And during your presentations, I heard a lot of similar thoughts and things, as you said that. This splitting and this divided two words in Czech Republic. We have this experience in Hungary nowadays also in connection with the rehab, because we have 12 steps rehabs, and on the other hand we have these medical psychiatric departments for drug rehabilitation. You can see that in Hungary there are many rehabs. Yeah, something like this. And we are here. We are here, and in Barna County there are almost 4 rehabs.
So we are in a very good position in our area, but the other areas are not so well positioned.
Yeah. Okay, so it's we have a drug rehab, and also we have a halfway house. The rehab length is 10 to 12 months, and the halfway house, after the successful rehabilitation treatment, they can apply for a halfway house, and they can spend maximum 1 year there. We usually suggest to our patient not to go back to their original city because of craving things and because of the nature of addiction. So it's easier to build up a new life in a new city than to go back. And our halfway house is also near to Page. Here you can see the rehab, and this is our halfway house, but it looks better today. So, there are some pictures about the rehab. It's near to Page in a small village. Okay, and for the rehab, we have 16 beds, and 5 for women and 11 for men, so we treat them together, but they have a separate bedroom part in the house, but during the day they are together and they do the treatment together. We can get patients only from 18 years old, and the average age is 34, and we try to treat all kind of addiction, from the drug addiction, from drugs to behavior addiction, but my experience that we can work we are more successful with these substance abuses than the behavioral addiction. And if somebody applies for the rehab, we do an interview, and also we have a quick care or something like this. That we have a social worker in the capital city in Budapest, and he looks after for patients and go to psychiatric rehabs and try to find a patient and delegate them to the rehab. And also we have 3 street rules: the sex, drug, and aggression abstinence.
It is not so hard to find clients. They always have
Waiting list. Group session. Okay, so what can we offer for our patient? Yeah, we are hand in hand with integrated drug, the integrated drug system, but the detox is also and always a question that it's hard to send our patient to detoxification, and usually they do the withdrawal in the rehab in the first 1 or 2 weeks in the support or with the help of the community. But in special cases, if it's a really, for example, in the medication addictions and very severe situations, we send them to the psychiatric clinic for detox. And we have a lawyer and a general practitioner. They come every 2 weeks. So yeah, and we have if it needs, we can have a consultation with a psychiatric clinic or psychiatrist. So we are thinking about a complex treatment, biopsychal and social and spiritual treatment, and also we have the possibility to do sport, and also we have a work rehabilitation. And we have three very useful and useful ideas for the treatment. The first is the Minnesota model, the second is the CBT, the cognitive behavioral treatment, and the third one is the attachment theory. So just some words about the Minnesota model. We use 12 steps. We usually use the first, the second, and the fourth step during the rehab, and also we have close contact with the self-help group. So every week we send 2 or 4 patients to the city to go to these meetings, and it's help them to integrate to these self-help groups after the treatment. And also we think about addiction to disease, like diabetes, multi-professional team. Yeah, in the team, I will talk about it a little bit later. CBT, we are not CBT experts, but we use some kind of tools or thoughts from the CBT theory in connection with the addiction, for example, the triggers of craving, or in connection with the recovery, to learn new skills, new behaviors, and also we like somewhat harsh ideas. The attachment theory, that it's a really useful book from Flores, Addiction as an Attachment Disorder. So we think that the therapeutic aim is to help our patient to learn how can they build a good enough relationship, how can they take care about it in the future. So we work like a therapeutic community, but beside this, or in this therapeutic community, we have a work rehabilitation program, psychodrama, theater and movement therapy, exercise treatment, group therapy, and multiple family group treatment. We use family treatment in a way that we have a group together with our patient and their relatives together in a group once a month. It's a special group, it's a ghost group. Okay, we usually work with the here and now, but also we thinking about during the treatment the recent past and the bygone in connection with the use of drugs, and also in connection with their childhood and the development of their personality. And in the treatment system there are 4 levels, the levels of the individual, the levels of the group, the community, and also the team, and this together. So it's we have many experience as we are in the team. It can influence the community, and it can in the other way also. We also have phases during the treatment. We are thinking about it as days. So in the first 30 days, the second 30 days, the third 30 days, and from 90 to 200 days, and 200 days to the end. And during these phases, our patients get more responsibility for themselves and also for the community, and they get different aims and duties. So you can see now some of them. And it's a timetable for a week, so they have always some programs. So they,
What does it mean, personal group?
Personal group that during the treatment, during the month, they have to prepare for groups in connection with their stories or history or this kind of thing. So we have a group in connection with family or relationships and shame and guilty, and these kind of titles. And also we have spiritual soul values group, and we have writing. They have to. We spend a lot of time to help them to learn about to recognize their emotions and to verbalize their emotions, because we are thinking about addiction beside as a disease, as a mode to regulate their emotions, and to help them to learn a different way to regulate these emotions is one to learn to express them in another way. And during these writing groups, for example, they try to write about their actual emotions, their thoughts, and these kind of things. This is a psychodrama session.
So everybody is writing at the same time?
Yeah. The whole community, we try that the whole community moves together during the day, except during the night. Yeah. And we have relapse prevention group also. And we have a weekly evaluational group when they thinking about their whole week, what happens there, what were their aims, how can they reach these aims. Next time, a team, multi-professional team. Yeah, so as I said yesterday, we are 8 in the team. He's our boss. And in the team we are 8, and we are professionals, and also there are 4 team members who has self-experience in connection with addiction, so they are in a recovery. Yeah, we have around 40% efficiency. The dropout rate is always a problem. The dropout